guys, let's get started. So this hair is from AliExpress from a company known as Lemoda hair. I'll give you guys the specs of the hair later on in this video. I got the wig cap, I got some flexi rods, as well as the wig itself. And very quickly, I'm going to show you guys how to sanitize your hair unit. A lot of these products, a lot of these hair come from China. And with the situation in the world right now, we're all trying to be clean, all trying to be sanitized. So I decided to give you guys a little demo on how I sanitize my wigs. Right now, I added 1 cup of alcohol, rubbing alcohol into the mix, but I also added 1 cup of water earlier. And I went in with my tea tree oil as well as peppermint oil, and I just added that and shook that up, and I sprayed down the entire wig. This took longer than what you guys can see, but I made sure the entire wig was at least really damp, and I left this on for about 20 minutes, and that should allow any bacteria or viruses in the hair to die down. So right now I'm moving on and actually bleaching the knots in the hair. And while I'm doing that, because this is a process that I've done so many times, there's many videos detailing how I do this on my channel. I'll leave some links in the description bar if you guys are interested, but I like to give you guys the specs of the hair while I'm doing that. So the hair itself, like I mentioned before, is from AliExpress from a company called Lemoda hair, and it's their kinky curly Mongolian hair unit, and this is in the length 24 inches. So I decided to also pick up the wig cap that was 13 by 6 because I wanted to have a deep part, and the lace on this wig is actually also a transparent lace. So the whole point of this video, if you guys can't tell from title, is me actually trying out some hacks that I picked up from YouTube, from popular wig gurus, and I wanted to see how those hacks would actually help with, you know, making sure my frontal lays down to the gods. And pretty much most people, or most of the wig gurus on YouTube, would actually recommend we use a transparent lace wig. So I decided to pick one up that was transparent, and yeah, let's see how this goes. Right now I'm done applying the bleach and I'm just wrapping this up, and I left it on for about 30 minutes, and this was just more than enough time to actually help me bleach the entire frontal. Hi guys, so it's another day. I washed off the bleach from the hair once it was done, and I also toned this with a purple shampoo, and here's what that lace is looking like. As you guys can see, it's definitely not my skin tone, but I was so excited to see how this turned out eventually. Right now I'm going in with my got2b gel and just applying that to my edges, and kind of laying my actual hairs down because my cornrows were pretty old at this point. I had to use a blow dryer just to make sure everything was very laid down. First things first, I went in with a brush and just brushed out all of the hairs, including the baby hairs, off my face. And this is because I wanted to go in and cut the ear tabs, because the wig cap itself was too big for my head. And so cutting off the excess tabs by the ear will just make this lay even flatter. So what I did was I just kind of outlined exactly where it needed to be cut, but because I'm not a professional, I didn't feel very comfortable doing this on my head, so I went off camera to actually cut off that. And once I was done, I put it back on my head. Now I'm just cleaning the area where I will be gluing the wig down with some rubbing alcohol, just to make sure there's no impurities, oils, or anything that could actually cause the wig not to lay down properly. Now onto the fun part of actually gluing the hair down. So going in with the got2b free spray, I actually sprayed this directly on the hair itself, and this is a trick that I picked up from a couple YouTubers who have tried this, and apparently it works really well. Normally I'm used to putting the spray on my hairline and then spraying it down before applying the wig, but apparently it helps to actually apply the wig first and just apply the spray to the areas where you need it to be stuck. And I don't know, I felt really iffy about this step, especially because I got the gel, sorry, I keep saying the gel, but I got the spray all over the hair itself. And I know, like, if anyone has used this free spray, you know how this could get like really stiff. So I was really skeptical about that at first, but we seem to be able to fix that. Just brushing it out. I stayed a long while before I brushed it out. That's why it wasn't like, easy enough. But while you're actually applying that spray, you can just use a comb and just brush it out at the same time so the hairs don't stay stuck together. But this was really, really surprisingly, like, it surprisingly worked. And so I went in to cut off the lace, and just like some YouTubers, one of the tips I picked up was I decided to cut it in sections. Now, I do apologize. The clip of me actually cutting this with my eyebrow razor wasn't filmed, but I did cut this, like cut the actual individual tabs with an eyebrow razor, because apparently that gives you a more natural cut. But here's what it looks like once everything is all cut up. Forgive my best friend in the background. We were really preparing to go out, and a lot of people kept standing behind me and I didn't notice. But yeah, that would happen a lot in this video. I've apologized. But yeah, right now I'm just going in with my hot comb and just trying to lay and take all of the hair away from my face, just so I can focus on getting this lace to actually look proper, because as you can tell, there's so much glue on it and it's just not looking right. So going in with this mousse, this is a wrap mousse that everybody and their grandmother uses on YouTube. I actually picked these up not because I haven't used a wrap mousse before, but because I wanted to see what the hype was with this particular one. And this is the Nairobi mousse. And I took that and just applied that to my hairline, and this was to kind of help the hairs lay better, get the excess glue out from the areas that had some excess glue. And again, I picked up another thing. Yo, this was a video full of hacks, but I wanted to try out this wrap thing that I see a lot of people using these days on their wigs. And I applied it I applied a lot more mousse before I applied this, just to make sure it laid down. And I just tied it and left it for, I think I left it for about an hour, because I went on to do my makeup while it was still drying. But apparently this is supposed to help your edges lay down flat. I didn't do any baby hairs because I wanted to focus more on getting the lace right. But if you actually went on to do your baby hairs, this would actually help to lay your baby hairs very, very well. So now, as you can see, I took off the wig and it definitely is like, it's definitely laid down. It's looking good. The only issue is the shade. And I noticed that that happened to be fixed just with a little foundation and powder on my brush. I decided to mix my foundation with my powder a little bit just because I wanted it to completely match my skin tone. This was so surprising for me because I literally saw that like that lace disappear. Like, what lace? It was so, I was shook. I was completely shook. Just wanna say you're mine. Fuck what you heard, you're mine, you're mine. So I took a little bit more of that mousse to apply to my part area, just to, help me form my part. And I decided to do a middle part just because, it's me. I love me some middle parts, and I like my middle parts to be very deep, which is why I picked up the 13x6 frontal. But yeah, I was getting so excited by this hair, especially that hairline. Like, I don't think I've ever seen my lace disappear like that. Thumbs up for the transparent laces. Thumbs up. So I went in with my hot comb again just to kind of lay down that part, just to make it a little straighter at the roots. And I also used it to give myself, like, that bump at the top that I really like at the front of my hairline. And I also used this to just brush all of the hairs up, including my baby hairs, because I wasn't trying to do the baby hairs. So this was kind of a fail. I was trying to apply some foundation to that hairline just to make it a little uniform with the color in the front, but I still noticed in post edit now that it still looks a little yellow, but that's all fine. That's all fine. I went in with this hair wax, and I just I'm trying to get that middle part to lay very flat, like extremely flat, flatly flat. Just because we don't want to be clockable. So I went in with the hair wax to help out with that, and I also used the hot comb just to brush through as well. You all, I do apologize. I was talking a lot in this video. I had a lot of people over and it was just a mess. Like, I was just trying to get this video filmed, Look at this. Like, look, I can't believe I did this. I am so proud. I'm so happy and so excited for my future wigs, but I'm so proud. Definitely always getting transparent laces from now on. Like, baby, only transparent laces. Just a little. You supposed to hold me down, Again, this mousse, y'all, this mousse was like the number one factor, especially since it was curly hair. But I used it all over the hair. The other side that's already done pretty much shows you what it looked like in the end. And this is just me applying. I went really generously with this. I didn't even apply like any water or conditioner just because I wanted the curls to stay for a very long time. And y'all, look at this wet look. Look at this wet look. I used the diffuser a little bit just to make sure the hair wasn't wet, and just to give it like a little bit of volume. But y'all, this is like the perfect summer curly hair routine with the wet look, and it just looked gorgeous. And this is the finished video, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this. The tips and the tricks, I would say some of them worked. Moving forward, let's all just transfer to transparent laces because they are they're the showstoppers. They are the showstoppers. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for spending time with me and watching my videos. Make sure to stay safe. Sanitize your wigs. Sanitize yourself. Stay safe, y'all. And I will see y'all in my next video, God willing. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Video, you're disturbing me. Come here. Show me my video.
No. This is my girlfriend.
All the five gotta listen when the 10 is talking. Bitch!
Alexa,
Oh yeah.
play If the World Was Ending.
Yes,
The World Was Ending,
You know it.
featuring Julia Michaels by J.P. Sachs and
This
Julia
is the song.
Michaels from Apple Music.
This Corona song.
Daba.
The world was empty.
Daba, too soon.